Here it is going now, guys. TalkNorwichCity here, back for another week of the TNC podcast. And we said we're going to be back with a bang, and we are indeed. Boom. Fantastic to welcome Cedric Anselin
nice
to the podcast. My friend, welcome along.
Nice to meet you as well. Thank you for having me.
As you walked into the building, you said it reminds you of the old hospital, and it does.
I said it reminded me of the old Norwich Hospital. The smell just felt exactly the same. But no, I'm okay, I'm good.
And I suspect you've been to hospital recently, and I didn't take you up the stairs because I noticed early doors that your knee is in some kind of like Robo-Cop.
Yes.
Cast.
What the hell have you been doing?
Obviously, I've been playing for Sheringham. I'm obviously player manager for obviously Sheringham Town and
the mighty Shezza.
Exactly. We've done really well to be honest so far. I don't think we have lost. We are unbeaten run.
It's the Cedric effect.
And I don't know about that, but probably the French flair effect, is what I would say.
Webber, if you need a replacement.
So yeah, no, obviously done to myself. I just jump and just landing my full body weight on my leg and just obviously snap my ACL. So yes, as you said, I've been back and forward to Norwich Hospital, which is not very good, but you know, you have to see the doctors and see exactly what you've done and diagnose it out.
I've got something to say. First thing that Cedric says to me after he says hello is, you know, the first thing you've got to do in the morning to crack on with life, make your bed.
I love that. It was just a motivation.
Mr. Motivational here. I love that.
But it's true. It's the first task of the day. You make your bed, and
you're just so on it. I love it. It's exactly what we like.
And Cedric, as well as that, admittedly, you haven't brought snacks, which I must admit does disappoint me a little bit.
You know what? I was actually going to cook something.
I felt you were going to.
Obviously, it's Delia's day today. I was going to look at a recipe and bring it here on the table for us
French,
tonight.
Right? You're meant to be able to cook a fantastic cuisine for us.
Coq au vin.
Exactly.
Do you knock up a good coq au vin?
To be fair, I've never cooked coq au vin.
No, surely you have.
No, I've never done. I've never tried.
I mean, have a quick
never.
Flick through that book.
Do you like snails or not?
I do like snails, yeah, very much.
Snails are good.
Yeah, very much.
It's all about moule de frites for me.
Moule de frites, yeah.
Oui.
I love it.
See?
Yeah,
No,
good accent. Good accent.
Good accent as well. God, it's full of compliments
Merci,
so far.
merci.
Merci beaucoup.
Cedric, it's been... yeah, you look engaged in that. I love this.
I'm like, oh,
ça va?
stuff pork. Ça va très bien, merci. Et toi?
Oui. Bonbon.
Do you know what I mean, bonbon in French?
Average?
No, it's sweets.
I failed my French GCSE. Got a D.
I got kicked out of it. No comment.
No. Any dishes that take you around there? You put it down in disgust.
Yeah,
also,
it's the time of dinner, so I'm like,
Yeah. Simon Lappin's cookies, we've pulled them out. We found them at the back of the cupboard. So Simon, thank you.
Simon, we've been saving them for a VIP guest.
Providing.
Thank you, Simon, but I would have to say to you, Tesco, finance probably next time.
Well,
perfect.
Yeah, Simon, if you're ever back on, now he's playing for the mighty Kings Lynn. I'm sure he can smash the cash on some Tesco finest cookies.
Well, just
Waitrose, surely, right?
Yeah, probably right. Yeah, but recently he just come back playing Kings Lynn. I think he was on the bench for a couple of weeks, and I think he's fully fit to play.
He's flying, isn't he? Yeah,
what a man.
See. Cedric, let's speak about your career because hasn't been the average career, has it? Or it wasn't the average career, and there was plenty of ups and a lot of downs as well. I mean,
I always say there was a lot down.
Yeah.
And I always said, when you start at the very high, the only way you can go is going down. Obviously, I was 17, a young boy from Bordeaux Academy. I had the privilege to come pro very early stage in my career, and I've played with like big names, which is
roll some off. Go on.
Zinedine Zidane.
Yeah, hang on. Whoa! You've played with Zinedine Zidane?
Yeah. I played with Zidane. I was 17. He actually come to pick me up at the Bordeaux Academy because obviously I was too young to drive. So he actually used to come to pick me up for the game.
Is this for real?
Honestly,
you're being serious right now?
It's honest truth.
So have you actually shook Zinedine Zidane's hand?
He's been in his car, for God's sake.
I was in his car. Yeah, I was like on a daily basis. I used to train with him, speak to him.
I love that man.
So
what a man!
But obviously he was a fantastic footballer, and now he's a global name. After what he achieved. Yeah, exactly. So it's a massive privilege for me to be able to play with him. And I said to many people, I've maybe not played in the Premier League in England and probably play as many games as I wanted, but I can say I've played with Zinedine, one of the best player in the world.
That's
going.
Paul McVeigh says that about Cristiano Ronaldo. Because he played against him, didn't he?
Yeah, but that's not the same as playing with.
Exactly.
Zidane. I mean,
it's not as good.
Yeah, so early doors in your career, it's going incredibly. What was the process like after that?
Well, obviously, 17, they offered me a 5-year contract at Bordeaux.
That's huge.
Yes, especially Bordeaux is not very a massive club who obviously give chances to young players, and I was very privileged to be part of them. And after that, I obviously played with Zidane. Played the final UEFA Cup in '96 against Bayern Munich. I was on the bench against in a quarterfinal against AC Milan. I was like 18, the big AC Milan in '96 when you had the Baresi, the Maldini, the Costa Curta, the Boban, the Savicevic, George Weah, Desai.
This is like Italian football at its prime, isn't it?
It was the best team in the world at that time, and I was like, wow.
They were like the team before Barcelona, weren't they? Really?
Yeah, they were the team. Obviously they have so much success in '90s, and obviously me being 17, I remember having Jean-Pierre Papin, French player who went to sign for AC Milan in my actually bedroom, his big poster, and sitting on the bench at San Siro, and I was like, whoa.
You're here,
yeah, exactly. I was like, man,
that's incredible.
But I was not even a professional at that time. Honestly, I was a young boy's apprentice. I was on my 3rd year apprentice. And it's just after the final I've been offered a 5-year contract professional.
Wow.
So
I mean, when you get that contract at such a young age, does a slight kind of sense of complacency come in, or what was that like getting that contract?
Well, that contract is obviously, for me, I've worked so hard to have a professional contract. It was my dream at a very young age, and to know that obviously the club give you that sort of that what's the word?
Confidence,
trust in you. I was 18. I didn't know what actually was the world of footballers. I was like, for me, it was just a passion. As every day, I was playing football, but because it was a passion, and never thought about, one day I would be a professional. But obviously, you work hard towards it. You got goals, and my goal was to be a pro, but never ever thought about playing with Zinedine Zidane.
That is incredible.
Or Lizarazu himself went to play for Bayern Munich and won the World Cup, and
wow.
Dugarry, there's another one, and then obviously behind that, obviously you start to play with the first team, and you got my first goal for France. I think it was the under-20. I think my coach was Gérard Rouillet, and alongside me in the national team was Thierry, Henry, Trezeguet, play for Juventus.
Trezeguet, wow.
You had also.
Remember him?
You have Ousmane Dabo, went to Inter Milan.
They're like proper legends, aren't they? Like real, like proper football legends.
Anelka, that's what I'm saying is my privilege was to play with them kind of player. Was not just a professional footballers. They are global names.
Yeah.
So I mean, how do you feel looking back then, in a sense that you were once on par with them, you were alongside them, and they are household names now, and your career has gone down a certain path. What's that feeling looking back on that?
Well, obviously the last 12 months I've obviously been reflecting a lot of my life, and to be honest, I have no regret whatsoever. I think it's very important in your life to have no regret, because you'll be able to move on forwards. To be honest, I would never change anything I've done in my short football career. As I said earlier, I've been privileged to be playing with them kind of players, and I'm quite happy to talk about it.
You've won it, man.
And I still have the medal at home, the '96 medal, when we played Bayern Munich at home.
That's incredible, absolutely incredible.
So that is my memories. That is, you can have the shirt, you can have anything you want, but the memories is still here and there. And that you can never take away from me.
Yeah, I mean, that must be such a special thing. I mean, the highs, the lows as well. I mean, it's been a tough, decade for you, hasn't it? I mean, the sort of fights with depression and mental health. I mean, you haven't had it easy, have you?
No, to be honest, I'm in the process of writing a book about my life.
Oh, brilliant.
Because obviously, as you just mentioned, it's been really tough. It's been tough since I left Norwich City, obviously, to be honest. It's been very difficult, but I've made the wrong choices. When you're a player, you got so many people around you, or you believe that they are your friends, but actually they are not. And that's very hard to obviously see that coming. And I was probably naive from my point of view. But as I said, I would never change anything. It's been difficult, yes. It's been very hard. But, as a footballer, as an ex-footballer, I can't live with my past. I need to be able to move on forward. And I think it's many, many footballers who are struggling to move forward in their life because they're still living with their past. And
I think you're leading the charge. I think it's such an important issue that needs to be tackled. And I think it is happening now. You see a lot more, which is really good to see, isn't it?
You got a lot more players who's coming out now. And
Leo McKenzie's doing a lot as well.
Recently, you got Fobsy who's coming out. Myself, Down Edie. So, it's very difficult, the after football career.
I mean, I always think about it. I mean, a footballer career is so unique in a sense that you are in that bubble and that is being your life.
It's a private world.
And then you come out of it and it's like, well, what do I do now?
It's just stopped. But if you look the players now, Premier League, Championship, League 1, League 2, maybe, players who are aged from 30 to 35, you could see their games is changing. They don't have that spark in their games. You could see they start to worry about
what's happening afterwards.
What they're going to do next. And as a footballer, that's it, it stops straight. And then you become, I would say, a normal person. And that's very hard.
And then what do you do?
Exactly, it's very hard to deal with on a daily basis because you don't have a purpose to go up in the morning to get in the changing room. You spend more time with your teammates in training than you spend time with your family. And then suddenly that all stopped, and then you spend more time with your family and nobody around you anymore in terms of friends and the game himself. But it's definitely a point to raise, and hopefully the PFA or the FA will do something about it.
I mean, we have a hell of a lot of kind of young males and probably a lot of people wanting to pursue a career in football. I know you're kind of coaching with Wroxham at the moment, and you're seeing a lot of kids who are wanting to go down a similar career path to you, I suspect. I mean, that must be quite embracing for you and quite a proud feeling to know that you can have an impact on young people now.
Yes, obviously I spoke to my students almost every day about it. It's a sixth form course at the Open Academy, so obviously we work in liaison with Wroxham, and a lot of them play for Wroxham Football Club, and a lot of them sort of got, I would say, a dream of maybe becoming a footballer, but sometimes we have to be honest with them. Because at the age of 16 to 18, if you're not already part in the academy, it's going to be very difficult for you to have that dream. I'm not taking any disrespect towards Vardy, but it's not many.
It's more difficult,
It's very true. And
it's good that you're honest with them and give them that opportunity to say, no, look, it's time to create a plan B now.
Yeah, exactly. And as I said, the course we run is only 2 year course, so you could see them in the second year, their mind is starting to change because they're starting to panic about what I'm going to do next. So they're not going to be
am I in or am I out?
Exactly. They're not going to be in a school environment. They're going to be straight into the real world. And it's for them to adapt themselves to that. But from my experience, I always speak to them, and obviously I've got high expectation. I've got very high goals in myself. And I think for them to reflect on me, seeing myself having high goals in life, I hope some of them would take that away and think, you know what, that's where I want to be in life.
I mean, it must be such a beautiful thing, kind of having you as a teacher. Because one of my kind of favourite teachers from school was an ex-professional footballer who played for Watford and a few other big teams. And to have that person to look up to as a role model and to know that you've been there, you've done it, you've seen it, you've experienced it, that must be such a great thing for them students to have. And I think they'll look back at this with real kind of pride and say, Cedric was my tutor, was my teacher.
I don't know, because obviously I saw them every day, so I don't know how the perspective of them looking at me, because I've been out of the game for such a long time.
They were all singing your name on the team bus the other day, right?
Yeah, that was the way they always MK Dons or Milton Keynes game.
Well, let's get on to this, because we'll get on to all of the questions later.
Yeah.
But this is one of your students, right? So he's asked. Let me find this question. So Jake Mann. So Jake Mann, we know Jake well.
Is that high?
Good footballer.
He's a wee man.
He's a good footballer. He's a great footballer. He needs to use his back legs a bit more when he receives the ball.
Oh, there you go, Jake.
He don't play forward enough.
Okay.
There we go. So he says favourite team you've ever coached, which I think he's looking for one answer here and one answer only. And if you don't answer with that,
I'll be in trouble tomorrow.
I trust you. I'm missing your name on the bus.
I will be in deep trouble tomorrow at school. No, his fair point is that game was very close because we went away to Milton Keynes, and Milton Keynes actually...
I love this story. So this is Ryan Haylett who says I can answer that one, drawing 1-1 away to Milton Keynes in the WFC Open.
Exactly. So basically we went away to Milton Keynes, and obviously we done our research about the oppositions, and a lot of players obviously looked into it and came to see me in the office and said they only dropped 3 points at home in 5 years or something, and I went, what, really? Well, yeah, okay. So then I looked the fixtures, and they've been beating team 5, 6-0, 7-1 at home. Yeah. And this team that we've been losing against 2-1, and I'm like, wow, that is going to be a tough afternoon. And I had to go to the game on my own because my colleague, his missus just gave birth. So I was, when it was like 16 young boys on a journey to Milton Keynes, and I was like, what am I going to do? So in my mind, I have sort of a system, a tactic, how we're going to attack the game. And
what a challenge!
To be honest, it was a good challenge for them. That was obviously my purpose of my speech before the game. I took the speech of my life. Honestly, I told them.
Where was the speech? Just
it was
set the scene.
Yeah, exactly. It was in a changing room, and I was going, how I'm going to galvanize the motivation, how I'm going to actually engage them into the games, and I took the example of my life, the last 12 months. That obviously I was close to obviously take my life, and I'm here. I'm a fighter. I will never give up, and they are the reason that I'm here as well today, because they've helped me a lot on my journey.
Fired me up so much.
And honestly, some of the boys, I was looking in the dressing room, some of the boys have tears in their eyes. And I said, boys, all I want you to do today is, if we lose, you put your hands up and we play against a better team against us. But I said, we're not going to lose today. I want you to go out, look at them as you are feeling 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
And we come out, and I've never seen them. I've never seen them.
Me up.
And honestly, they play is probably the best game I've ever seen since I've been involved in that course. And we managed to draw 1-1. So I'm telling you, on the way back, oh my goodness me,
wow,
the driver who couldn't even concentrate on the road. And that was honest truth. I had an email from the company we use saying to me, the next game we went away, can you please make sure your kids or your students are well behaved? Because the driver was like, he couldn't concentrate on the road.
That is what it's all about. That's why we love football, right? Those stories.
But he's a great story for me. He's a good point. But then, boys, when they will finish the course in 5 years' time, they will always remember that.
I mean, not only that, but they're tweeting it at 8:10 on a Tuesday night, so it must be very close.
They're obviously not watching England v Brazil. So
I don't blame them either. Anyway, let's talk a bit about Norwich City. You've watched Norwich a lot this season. You've done a lot of work with Radio Norfolk. Yeah. First of all, how has that been? Because that is...
Oh, poor guy has to sit next to Rob, doesn't he?
Rob is a good laugh. He's a great laugh. We had a joke, and on the way back from, I think it was Millwall when we lost 4-0, I think he was driving.
You had a joke after that? Wow.
We have to keep the spirit and the happiness on the way home, because he was absolutely quiet in the car, and we're just like talking about something, and Chris and Rob was laughing about something, and it was a Norwegian joke when I think it was Paul Gascoigne involved in there, and it's something like they would say, no, silly joke. No silly joke here. And it's just keeping my mind. So every time I tweet Rob or Chris, I'm no silly joke today on the game. So I'm just like, to be honest, they've been great. As I said to a lot of people, it's been a really tough 12 months, and I'm very privileged to be able to work with them too on the match games, and give me that opportunity to come to watch the game, to obviously, entertain my mind a bit, and keep myself ticking forward.
I love that. We've been asked a question a lot, Chris, about who you'd want to go on an away game with.
Yeah,
this man.
Yeah.
If you ever want to go to an away game, give me a shout. I'll get the tickets and the beer in, and we're off.
Yeah, get you in. And we're off. Stands, 100%.
Well, last time I went away was Millwall, so we lost 4-0. So
I don't think you want to go in the stands this season with the fans.
I went once. I think I went to watch Sunderland game at home when we lost 3-1.
But an away game.
I've never been away games
in the stands.
No.
Let's make it happen.
Let's change that this season.
Let's make it happen, Cedric. I mean, in terms of Norwich City as well, it's been an up and down season, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You speak there about Sunderland at home, Millwall away,
Bolton.
Bolton. But there's been some fantastic wins: Middlesbrough away, Sheffield United, Reading.
Yeah.
What have you made of the season so far? What have you made in the change of philosophy? Daniel Farke, Stuart Webber, them kind of people.
I think he obviously come to a club with a philosophy which is very difficult for some of the players to adapt. Some adapt very quickly. Some take a bit more long. But we have seen some glimpse of that the way he wants to play, that fluidity, that positions and so on and so, which he's obviously been working at Dortmund. But for a foreign coach or even for a foreign person to come in a different country, it's very hard to have your point and your philosophy across, especially in front of the language in front of 30 players in the changing room. I count obviously the young boys who are obviously in and out with the first team and reserve. It is very difficult. I think for me this year is a year of transitions.
Agreed.
We have to be honest that Norwich won't be in a top playoff. You
don't think so?
I think it would be hard. I think it would be very hard. But next year would be in the second season. He would be more into the clubs. He probably going to bring a bit more championship players who obviously know the league. Good example. We look Wolverhampton. The manager kept very strong English player who play for the championship, and he just had some players, with it, and they managed to get that philosophy, and Wolverhampton they're up there, and I'm pretty sure Norwich will be there next year.
I mean, I suppose the argument would be there is the fact that next season parachute payments stop, finances start to become very tough. The likes of Pritchard, the likes of Maddison, you could wave goodbye to them if you don't go up this season.
Maddison?
Yeah, if we don't go up this season.
No, I'm gonna bribe him. I'm going to have to just take out a bank loan myself.
I think the £25,000 will be there as well.
I think I'm going to give him my mortgage loan, actually.
He's a top player. He's a top player. I think, I've been watching him. He's a very young boy. But, I'm telling you, when the games don't go the Norwich way, he's the one who won the ball. And he's got a sign of, give me the ball, give me the ball. He won the ball even when things don't, as no right. That is a good sign of a good player.
Agreed. And obviously against Bolton, he looked like the only player that was giving some sort of hope. He looked like his shots were off target, but at least he was having a go. Do you know what I mean?
To be fair to him, he's the one. Even when he's not even under pressure. I would say he just play with freedom. He just looked like a boy.
Confidence.
He just he loved the game. He's got that passion and desire about the game. For him, it's not about having a call in England or earning so and so in a week. For him, you can see he's a kid in the field, and he just exactly. He play with a smile on his face.
Yeah, and loves the game.
Yeah, he loved the game, and I think he can bounce back on other around him. That sort of that happiness and the smile on his face.
Agreed.
He's always happy.
Angus doesn't play with a smile. I think he's scared that he's going to get beaten all the time.
But that's very difficult for a point of view as a goalkeeper, because you're actually the last one who pick up the ball in the net. So it's very difficult.
We haven't spoke about it yet. Angus Gunn, England senior team, got the call up. Chris, you must be buzzing. And another Nando's owed to him. 2.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's definitely
Is it a thing? I have spoken to Angus, and the Nando's deal is in negotiations at the moment. So there'll be some progress. Basically, if you don't know, Cedric, I promised Angus and Nando's every time he kept the clean sheet this season, because I was genuinely.
Oh, you mean the Nando's, the restaurant Nando's?
Yeah.
I thought you mean the the island.
Nando's.
Taking him to.
To be fair, the amount of Nando's I'm going to spend, I may as well take him to the island for Nando's.
Exactly.
Buzzing for him that he got called up. Obviously, me and Jack found out under the influence of quite a few beverages that Angus was going to be called up to the England seniors. Jack says to me, whispers in my ear with a beer in his hand, Chris, Angus is in the England senior team, and I go, Jack, you're having a laugh, aren't you? And then he shows me his phone. I've gone like, he's in the senior team.
You feel sober straight away.
Yeah, what the? Yeah,
no, I think
brilliant.
He's brilliant for the club. He's fantastic for himself. Obviously, his dad must be absolutely over the moon. But yeah, it's strange because he's a player on loan for Manchester City, but he actually grew up here. You feel that satisfaction that Norwich.
He's Norwich through and through.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's very good.
You feel proud, don't you? You feel proud.
Yeah. And
if anyone deserves,
exactly, as well as being fairly, he deserves to be.
Exactly. If you play well, you deserve luck to carry you away, don't you? It's brilliant.
Let's talk about Norwich going forwards then. Barnsley up this weekend.
I'm actually commentating the game.
Are you really? Get that little plug in. He loves it.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to be a tough game, to be fair. In a lot of different aspects, because Barnsley only got 3 points behind Norwich. Mm-hmm. So if obviously they win, they can come back and creep up. But Norwich, last time they went on an international break, they had that beautiful run behind. So let's hope that it carry on. But Barnsley, their manager is on the short list of Sunderland.
Yeah, I was seeing that. Yeah.
You don't know which frame of mind they're going to be here at Carrow Road on a Saturday. You don't know how they're going to turn
up.
And
the players, because surely the players see that in the press and they go, well, if the gaffer's off.
Yeah.
So. I mean, Chris, it is very reminiscent, as Cedric just said, to that international break after the Millwall game. Yeah. Maybe not as bad as that, but we've gone into this international break off the back of some fairly poor form.
Yeah.
And we've dipped down to the table. I think we're 13th now. So it is important in a winnable home game to try and bounce back straight away.
Just to go, I mean, obviously, you would say poor form in terms of results, but I wouldn't actually say we've played that badly.
Well, you played Derby at home, which Derby obviously was a decent team going forward.
We didn't play badly though, did we?
No. And it was the same with Wolverhampton, because I was actually commentating the game on that Tuesday night, and I was very shocked the way Wolverhampton played that night, but the energy they bring going forward, the attacking, they
look like the best team in the league, don't
exactly.
They reminded me very much of Huddersfield last season. Yeah. Played us off the park, they'll go up, hold your hands up, better team.
Exactly, and that's what the fans need to understand. That we played two decent teams at home.
Yeah, agreed.
We lost 2-1, both of them. Now, obviously, Barnsley come at home. I think it's very important to pick up 3 points and go back on that run at home. I would say
the main thing is we've got to be better. We've got to be more clinical in front of goal.
That's the thing.
It frustrates the living daylights out of me. I mean,
you
were there at Bolton, right?
We only scored 6 goals at home
all season.
Really?
You were there at Bolton. The frustration, I could literally hear it seeping from your voice, right? I mean, it was not good.
It was not good, but again, they had a lot of chances before Bolton scored, and it's part of the game. You need to take your chances, because if you don't take it, you're on the back pressure, and that's been the problem of Norwich.
And you do wonder, don't you? Because then I think both of the chances fell to Cameron Jerome, who's had a tough season, and admittedly is a tough job up front on your own. But you do wonder if Nelson was there.
Saw him in Nando's, by the way, last week.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was he okay?
Yeah, he looked alright. Yeah.
How's his tooth? Is he better?
Yeah, it looked okay. Yeah,
good.
And you do wonder the injuries that we've suffered have.
Honestly, I spent the whole of my EDP article last weekend talking about Pritchard and Nelson and Maddison. That combo, that triangle coming together could be absolutely lethal. And I think that now you see Pritchard back in training. Now you see Nelson he's doing all sorts of magic. He's going to the dentist and all sorts, isn't he, right?
But to be honest, fair point. Dentist, tooth for a football player is very important.
Why is that?
Because you can carry on a lot of problem on your muscles, can affect your muscles. Yeah. It's very, very important. When I was playing at Bordeaux, we used to have a dentist at the club.
Really? Club dentist?
Yeah, we used to come and check the teeth.
Do your molars and everything, yeah?
Yeah.
Make sure you brush your teeth.
Yeah.
How many times a day did you brush your teeth?
2. Morning, night.
Okay.
I'm not carrying on my brush teeth at work.
I was going to say, I've got this kind of vision of your Bordeaux dentist.
I would get absolutely rigged by my student if I carry on a toothbrush.
I mean, Nelson, he's trying everything, but we need him back, and we need the core of our squad back.
But to be honest, the international break for him has been coming at the right time.
Yeah,
I think
agreed.
he will be coming back fully fit, hopefully. Pritchard is almost like he's coming to a team that is going to bring the freshness, the happiness, a player that has been missed completely, the way Norwich want to play. He feel like he's a new player coming. He's like Norwich a new player, basically. So let's hope that,
I'm totally on board with that.
Yeah,
100%.
But I will argue with a lot of fans about Cameron Jerome that he don't score enough goals, blah blah. But Cameron Jerome has been at Norwich for quite a long time now.
Yeah.
He has never really scored no more than 10 goals a year, I would say, probably.
He had a couple of good championship seasons, didn't he?
But for me, he's not a top scorer. He's not a scorer. He's someone who's working really hard.
He works off another striker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the argument of a lot of fans, why we don't put Oliveira and Cameron Jerome together up front? The question is, you only got 2 strikers. Are you going to put them 2 strikers together
and risk
and if one get injured,
that's true,
or to get 2 injured, you got no striker left, and you can't put.
You'll see some interesting movements in January with the likes of Carlton Morris, won't you? I think personally.
Yeah, I mean, do 2 strikers work? I think we've tried it before and it's failed. So I think.
I don't think we should be too negative about it. You see our midfield, fresh after the international break. Madison's going to be on it, guaranteed. Yeah. Wes will be buzzed up from the Ireland game, hopefully, fingers crossed, right? Exactly. You've got Pritchard coming through, who's going to be like a new player. I think Josh Murphy needed the break. He's going to come back like a new player. So let's not be too down about it. Let's just try to, as Cedric very rightly said, this season experiment, this season patience.
You know what I've learned in the last 12 months? That before I used to stress about the game, I used to stress about winning or losing.
It's not in your control.
The game on the day is only for 3 points. That's it.
Long season. True.
And I read a really interesting article today because I think for me, one of the main reasons in Norwich struggling a little bit in recent weeks has been, one, the intensity of games. We were playing Tuesday, Saturday, constant. And that is all well and good if you've got a squad with the depth of Wolves, but we don't. And Chris Gorham highlighted a very good point that it might be a bit easier going into this second half of the season, or however long is left in the season, because we've only got, unless there's FA Cup ties or whatever, 3 midweek games left. And that is going to help us hugely going forwards, I think, in terms of a slight lack of fixture congestion.
I think when Norwich played Arsenal away in that cup game, obviously going to extra time, and I think that has been really tough on Norwich because at the back of that you had Derby, Wolverhampton, 2 very tough home games, and I think the fact that they play extra time will argue that their professionals should be fit. But as you said, they've been playing Saturday, Tuesday, and the previous day they played a Sunday against Ipswich. So at
least we won the derby. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've already done that, and I don't blame. I think Daniel Farke, in hindsight, made a mistake playing such a strong team against Arsenal. But why not? If you were the manager, Cedric, you would have played Nelson. You would have started him. And we had Arsenal. We had them on the edge. Yeah. We could have killed them off, and I just think it's just very fine margins, Jack.
Indeed, very true.
Right, let's get to the questions. We put out on Twitter that you're on the podcast tonight, and there's been a resounding amount of replies. So first of all, now Cedric, let me introduce you to this man. Do you know this man? This is Willemot's Limited. He owns a garden landscaping business. Okay. So, do you need your lawn cut first of all?
Actually, yes.
Do you?
Do you actually?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, Willemot's, there's a new client for you. Now, this man, first of all, in his bio, it says the daily life of a contract groundsman. Come rain or sun, weeds will always outgrow grass.
Do you like that quote, Cedric?
I like that.
Now, he's got a new quote. Now, he's in Tenerife at the moment. We'll put the picture on screen now. He's having a whale of a time in his Leo Vegas Norwich City shirt. And he said a little proverb for you. After the rain, the grass will grow, and after wine, conversation will flow. Wow. Does conversation flow after wine for you?
It does in France.
No, it does. No, not for me. I don't drink wine.
Do you not?
No.
Do you like beer?
I like beer. I've been in England for 20 years.
Yeah,
that's true. I feel part of the English culture now. So to be fair, I don't really drink wine.
I feel like in that role, Nick.
Yeah, I had you as I had him as a Sauvignon Blanc kind of guy.
A brandy after dinner. Yeah, I do like a brandy, but to be fair, I've not drank alcohol for a long time because obviously I'm on medication, so I have to be really careful. But I used to like having a bit of brandy after dinner, and wine. Oh.
You'd look great with a glass of wine in this.
Do you think so? What you see in red or in white or rosé?
No, in this, but with the glass of red wine.
Yeah.
Wine, you just look like a boss.
Sophisticated.
Cheese board as well.
Cheese board.
What's your favourite cheese? You've got cheese.
Let me guess.
Surely you've not lost that.
Have a guess.
Yeah, okay. I think he's a camembert man.
No.
Brie.
No.
Brie? But come on. Brie's weak.
No.
Stilton?
I love a very strong cheese. Roquefort.
Oh.
Is a similar of the blue.
One for the cheese truckle.
Yeah, I love Roquefort. You can eat cold, but you can also cook Roquefort as well. So if you if you cooked a beef joint, you can actually do some hole inside. Cut some cubes of Roquefort, put inside the beef with some garlics.
I think you need to team up with Delia.
Oh, that has
You're
been
making me shiver.
Yeah, it's time for dinner.
Delightful. And he also said Cedric is a great co-commentator. So,
thank you very much.
Yeah, and if you need...
And I agree. And you know what? Cedric calms me down. I'm sitting there listening to the radio. I'm like, God damn it, Norwich. Rob's firing me up. And then Cedric goes, it's okay, we can do this. And I'm like, okay, it's all right.
I think it was my first game commentating with Bradford away. Almost a year ago.
Okay.
It was Boxing Day on New Year's Eve.
New
Year's Eve, wasn't
when
it?
we drew 0-0,
Yeah.
when the fan obviously booed Alex after the game. And
Robin Grady got sent off.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was my first game, and towards the end it was a crossing, and we had a massive post in front of us. We couldn't see half of the goal in the second half, and it was a cross, and he didn't see Ruddy going out and catching it, so he catch it and drop it, and he went, oh no! I went, calm down, relax, because I could see fully like it was no player around, people was players around.
I like that.
And he just laughed.
It's Ultra HD saying best moment so far on Radio Norfolk. Any standouts?
Have you ever wanted to throw Rob over the edge?
No, because I had a good laugh.
Yeah, he's a good boy, isn't he?
To be honest, it's very difficult.
Does he wind you up? He winds me. He tries to wind me and Jack up.
No, I told you he's a lovely man. It's very hard because he's actually on the game, and sometimes you want to say one thing, but he carry on, and so you try not to stop him. So you have to wait a bit, and by the time you wait, it's too long. He's gone, and so you're like, well, yeah,
he's off.
Yeah.
How have you found Canary Call? In terms of the calls you get,
Canary Call.
Be careful.
What's the words?
Aggressive?
No.
Ridiculous? Over the top?
No.
Annoying?
No.
Frustrating?
No.
Absurd?
On my point of view, no, not at all. I find it sometimes it's funny.
True.
Sometimes it's very funny.
Yeah.
Because you can have 5 callers and they go all the same sort of view, but in a different way of they explaining themselves. So you feel almost like you're repeating yourself.
Yeah, okay.
As well.
Yeah.
So I find it difficult, but again, you have to be very diplomatic.
So it's like, why is Cameron Jerome starting up front in his own?
Yeah.
Why is Cameron Jerome not scoring goals?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, this is the reason.
Yeah. So you're almost saying you feel like you repeat yourself a bit.
It makes me so angry that on Canary Call, after every single game, someone will call up to say, let's sack the manager. What that is so frustrating for me. I would probably.
I love Canary Call.
I love Canary Call. I just find it very.
No for me. Rob knows that as well. It winds me up.
I love it. It's funny because you can understand the point of view of the fans. Sometimes it's frustrating, but after the Ipswich games when they won 1-0 away, it's almost like they wanted to sign him for life.
Yeah.
Give him a contract for life at Norwich City, and then they lose away at Bolton. And say, I need to get sacked now.
Yeah,
short-term memories. It's only a space of 10 days, and it's human being. We judge what we see, and I don't blame the fans for that.
That's true.
We're all the same. When you go to a restaurant, you judge by your eyes when the plate come. And the fans are the same, they judge by their eyes what they see.
Well, yeah, I've never heard that analogy, but that is one I'm going to hold very close to my heart. Would you sell James Maddison if a £25 million bid came in for him?
Who's asked that question?
This is from Will Grant 3.
Will Grant 3, please stop that.
No.
Can I actually just put a rule out on this podcast? Right, stop talking about Maddison being sold. You know what? Let's just stop talking about Maddison, because if we keep him quiet,
you're the only person who
he
talks about
won't
him.
be sold in January. It's a secret, okay?
No, I think he's the future of the club. To be fair, I think they should build around him.
Totally agree.
But again, he's doing so well so far. You will have clubs who will come to Smith at January time, but. No,
the future of the club, though.
I'm pretty sure. The way he play and the way he fits in Farke's philosophy is a puzzle, just like
bang on.
Will Burgess asks, best player you played with and against at Carrow Road?
At Carrow Road.
Your best Norwich teammate?
I would say it would sound probably funny, but I would say Matt Jackson.
Okay.
The reason is because for me, you just don't look the player as ability wise.
Like Peter Crouch, he looks like he can't play football, but he can.
Yeah, no, I just look at him not in a way of that other people think, oh, he's not technically very good, but he read the game very well.
Right.
He communicates very well with the knowledge of the game, and he's a leader. And I love that about him. So I was looking at him every
You love
day.
a leader.
Yeah.
Do you find it annoying then when Russell Martin gets criticised? Do you see him as maybe not the most technically gifted player, but a leader?
He is definitely a leader, because if he wasn't a leader, he won't be a club captain, for sure. I get really annoyed when people get on his back, because I think he's done so much for the club, and he carry on. And then again, fans just judge what they see on a Saturday behind doors. He do so much for the community, for a lot of people around, for the services as well. And people don't see that, and you really frustrate me when people criticize footballers. But again, it's part of the job. It's part of the football world that people judge what they see.
But let's just put the pitchforks away. He's had a fantastic career at Norwich. As Cedric said, on and off the pitch, he's done some amazing things. I mean, I'll never forget the League One and Championship campaigns, that double bounce. Russell Martin, amazing. And for that alone, for whatever it was, £250,000 we spent on Russell Martin. Probably not even that, right? We got him dirt cheap.
He signed for Peterborough.
Yeah.
From Peterborough,
Yeah.
Good knowledge.
Yeah.
Good knowledge. Right, let's talk about this lady right here.
Yeah.
Now, she was given an award today by the Queen.
I love
Well
that lady.
deserved.
Due to her contribution to cooking and cookery education.
Yeah.
So let's have a little round of applause for Delia Smith. She deserves it.
Go on,
you still haven't picked a dish out of here, so you need to do that.
Yeah,
It's your homework. And
But
Tom Cash.
I love the lady. You know, she actually bring me to Norwich and bought myself from her own money
Really?
when I signed in.
You being serious?
Yeah. That is
How much was it for again?
I think it's 250,000.
Of her own money?
I think the club didn't have enough money to buy me, and I think she obviously
Coughed out.
yeah. But no, yeah.
Have you had dinner with Delia?
Never. I actually saw Delia recently. I went to an event at the football ground, and she was there, and she was so exciting to see me.
Oh, that's lovely.
I love that.
She was so exciting to see me, and I've not been at the club, or I left the club almost like 10 plus years now, and she saw me. She remembered my name. She came and.
I should think so too. If she spent that much money on you, Cedric.
No, she apparently so. I used to be her favourite player when I was in Norwich.
Wow!
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, that's quite.
That's an achievement in itself.
Some of my member of my family met her when they came to watch me.
That is incredible.
So she welcomed my family.
That's a beautiful
to one
story.
of their home games.
I love that. Oh God.
Well, I think I know the answer to this question, where it's going then. Tom Cash asks, what's your thoughts on Delia Smith not looking for outside investors into the club?
Wow, it's quite a good question actually.
Well, Tom,
do you think Norwich needs outside investors?
If we want, I suppose that's the question for you. Yeah,
Exactly. If you want to go to the next steps,
Yeah.
I think Norwich do need to have a look for new investors. Obviously, maybe abroad or. But do you think it will change completely the view of Norwich City, the family aspects, that togetherness, that community, that I just give that force to the team and the fans? I don't know. It's a good question. That if you look Manchester City, it's completely gone global. It's not the Manchester City that we know many years ago. They obviously make the step going forward, and they probably needed to do that. The question is it Norwich need to do that?
I've got an analogy for it. I've decided. Right. So, Norwich City is a bloke in a nightclub. Okay. Okay.
No, well, Cedric.
I don't go out.
Okay.
Nope.
I don't go out.
Right. Norwich City is a bloke in a nightclub. Now, a bloke in a nightclub that's looking to pull a chick.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes turns chicks off, right? And Delia, the bloke in the nightclub in this instance,
Right.
wants to pull, right?
Okay.
But it's got to be the right person.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's got principles, right?
Yeah, very
she
right.
doesn't want to just
High expect-
pull someone ugly, right? And I think that as a club, by coming out and being honest with the fans, I've got massive kudos and respect for that. So well done, because I just appreciate being told that they're not looking. I like that personally. I think you'll find is if Daniel Farke plays, this fantastic new way of football, and Delia's there, and the family aspect is there. We might be in the playoffs. We might get promoted to the Premier League. Let's draw on a bit of that heartache. We're creating a story all the time, right, for a potential investor to buy into. Yeah. But I would personally see it as, in that nightclub scenario, if you're pulling some great moves, Jack, and I know you've got some great moves.
I have to.
Okay.
Yeah, really good.
I need to see that.
Yeah,
we'll go on
some amazing dance moves, right? So Norwich City need to pull out the good dance moves for a proper investor to come on board.
I like that. Yeah.
I do like that, yeah.
Yeah? Okay, good.
Good.
But I suppose it's that constant balance, isn't it, between do you want to progress, do you want to become a top 10 Premier League club, or do you want...
But we're not that at the moment. Let's just consolidate for a bit.
But we're all the same. We want the club to do so well and go to the next steps. I'm not so sure if it's an outside investor would come to Norwich...
And just make it work overnight.
Exactly. And I'm worried that... it would be a loss a bit from the fans' point of view.
Yeah.
Because the fans, let's be honest, what they got around here is Norwich City Football Club. They come there because their granddad used to come to the games, and their granddad used to come to the games. This is that generation into a generation just come in, and I don't know if you will have that aspect of the fans.
And I suppose you'll never know until you make that decision.
And the same people that are moaning now, saying that they want an investor, the investor will come in, and it will be a Chinese bloke that's laundered all of his money, and then they'll be moaning again. So,
but no, let's not forget that Delia's done very well.
Yeah,
all them years.
Agreed.
And sometimes we forgot about what she actually done for the club.
Absolute legend. I think that rounds off everything I want to ask. Chris, any other questions for the great man?
Well, we spoke about James Maddison, so it's all good.
No, James, great player.
Cedric, anything else you want to add?
No.
Give a final message to the Norwich fans for this season. Give one of your motivational speeches.
I can't.
But don't make me cry.
No,
I almost cry.
I don't want to put 25,000 people just crying. No, I'm only joking. No, to be honest, it's just to carry on the way they've been, supporting the team, and that's been obviously fantastic. Obviously, we're going to have some down. We're going to have some up. We'll have more down. We'll have more ups. But when we are down, is just to carry on to support the team, and obviously. The away games have been supporting in very good numbers, and I think you need to carry on. And I hope it will be the same. And I'm pretty sure the fans will be, grateful towards the fans and give their best. But again, it's a long season. We all know Championship level is a long season, and Norwich will do well.
Cedric, a genuine pleasure. We'll have to get you on again soon, my friend.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you one of those.
Give me a potato.
Hey.
Give me a potato.